Anakin's defeat on Mustafar set in motion events that would result in his redemption almost 3 decades later and the fall of the Emperor that he put in power. But what if Anakin wasn't defeated? What if he killed Obi-Wan on the volcanic world?
This is the end for you, my master.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
You underestimate my power!
Well, first things first, we need to address the obvious, and that's what Anakin's defeat on Mustafar actually meant. It was really where Anakin Skywalker died, not only where he had to start wearing the menacing iconic black suit, but where he cut all ties to his master and closest friend. He killed off his own wife and, to his knowledge, his unborn children. There was nothing of Skywalker remaining from here. He became an utterly loyal servant of Palpatine, an instrument of hate, if you will. But if Obi-Wan was killed as opposed to Anakin, what happens? Well, Anakin would definitely go back to try to save Padme. Now, for this theory, I want to go with the idea that he takes her back to Palpatine, as he'd still be under the impression that he could save her using his knowledge of the dark side, but he can't. Realistically, it's very unlikely Palpatine could actually save Padme, even if he wanted to, which he wouldn't. After all, Padme was a part of Anakin's life, not Vader's. A distraction, someone who would lead him off the Sith Lord's course that Palpatine had set for him.
I am becoming more powerful than any Jedi has ever dreamed of, and I'm doing it for you, to protect you.
Come away with me. Help me raise our child. Leave everything else behind while we still can.
The last thing Sidious would want would be a voice of reason whispering into the ears of one of his most valuable assets, so Padme would have to go. But what of Luke and Leia? They were essentially 2 Force-born children whose father was one of the most powerful Force users to ever live, and they were far too valuable to be wasted. For this reason, I believe Palpatine would keep the children as somewhat hostages, whilst he had Vader be his apprentice. He would ensure the safety of the Skywalker twins. But the reality would likely be far darker. Sidious would likely train the 2 children from a young age in the ways of the dark side, with their power they inherited from their father, and the brutal training methods Palpatine would use. He would craft the innocent children into fists of pure hatred and anger, Sith in the making, much like what he did with Darth Maul. Essentially, the children would be totally subservient to Sidious, and Vader, their father, would be powerless to do anything about it. Now, some of you may be thinking, doesn't this break the rule of 2? Well, yeah. However, it's likely both siblings would not survive. Palpatine would have them turn on each other to distinguish the strongest from the weakest, and then he would set the young weapon of hate on one more target, his own apprentice and their father, Darth Vader. Now, we know Sidious had some reservations about trusting Vader, and if the opportunity to replace him with one of his children who was equally as powerful arose, he would definitely take it. Now, despite Vader's powers, it's likely he wouldn't be willing or able to kill his own child, especially after they'd survived Palpatine's malignant training process. Needless to say, without Luke and Leia, the rebellion would likely never be able to bring an end to the Empire, so the Empire's rule would go unchallenged. But it gets worse. One of the Skywalker children would become Sidious's apprentice. One of the most powerful Force users the galaxy had ever seen would be in the hands of Sidious and would potentially become the most powerful Sith in history. Eventually, they'd kill Palpatine when their power became strong enough and would likely take the Imperial throne for themselves. Ultimately, in my opinion, this would result in a Sith dynasty forming that could go on for centuries, if not longer, as the last of the Jedi die out over time and their ways will be lost to the galaxy. The Empire would likely never be defeated, and the Sith's rule over the galaxy would be absolute, with each Sith succeeding their master and passing on the role of Emperor with them. But what do you think? Do you agree with this rethink, or do you think it could go a different way? And if so, what do you believe would happen? Please put your opinions and scenarios below. Also, please leave a like and subscribe for more Star Wars content. And as another important side note, YouTube's been messing up a lot recently and not been notifying people when a new video is released. So please turn on notifications by ticking the bell, or follow me at Twitter at TheLawGuy to keep up to date. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.